Rain sheets across the dark hospital parking lot, neon lights reflecting in the slick asphalt.
Headlights slice through the gloom, each passing car a fleeting moment in the downpour. The relentless rain amplifies the restlessness, creating an ominous atmosphere. A sense of unease hangs heavy, mirroring the storm's intensity. Emergency doors burst open, revealing paramedics racing Miguel in, his face ashen against the stark white. Miguel struggles for each breath, his labored gasps echoing in the sterile, brightly lit emergency room. A whirlwind of motion engulfs him. Nurses and doctors converge, their focused intensity palpable. The air crackles with urgency. Every second is critical as they fight to stabilize Miguel. Monitors beep frantically, a stark reminder of the precarious balance between life and death. Fluorescent lights glare in the ER as Elena moves with serene grace. Her footsteps are barely audible over the din. She advances towards Miguel, a beacon of calm. Her hand gently rests on Miguel's shoulder, a touch of tranquility amidst the storm. Under harsh fluorescent lights, the emergency room buzzes with a sterile tension, shadows stretching across the linoleum floor. Elena's face is etched with worry as she leans in, her gaze fixed on Miguel's pale, sweat-slicked face. "Focus on your breathing, Miguel," Elena urges, her voice a soothing balm against the chaotic backdrop. "In and out. That's it," she whispers, her eyes reflecting a mix of fear and unwavering determination. Dim light flickers in the inpatient room as shadows dance on the walls, mirroring the storm's fury outside. Miguel is wheeled in, his face pale against the crisp white sheets. Elena adjusts his oxygen mask, her gentle touch a stark contrast to the harsh atmosphere. Her brow furrowed, she meticulously checks his IV, ensuring each drop is a lifeline in the dimness. Dim light fills the inpatient room, shadows lurking as Miguel lies pale in the hospital bed. His face is drawn, eyelids heavy as he stares at Elena, his breath shallow and labored. Elena sits beside Miguel, her gentle hand tenderly holding his, a silent vigil. His voice weak and strained, Miguel whispers, "Am I gonna make it?" Elena's face reflects a storm of emotions, grief, love, and a fierce determination. The room is filled with unspoken words, heavy with the weight of uncertainty. In the dim, inpatient room, Elena adjusts the lights, casting long shadows across the sterile space. Elena quietly exits the room, her footsteps barely audible on the linoleum floor. Miguel lies in bed, the soft glow of the bedside lamp illuminating his face. A sense of unexpected safety washes over Miguel as he drifts off to sleep. In the dim, inpatient room, Miguel struggles against fever dreams, his face slick with sweat and his eyes wide with growing fear. His breathing turns labored, each gasp echoing in the silent room, heightening the sense of impending crisis. Panic sets in, tightening his chest as he fights to anchor himself against the rising tide of delirium. He claws at the sheets, a desperate, silent plea against the unseen terrors that grip his mind and body. Miguel startles awake in the dim, impatient room, gasping, his chest heaving with desperate need. Panic flares in Miguel's wide eyes as he scans the shadows, seeking an unseen threat in the quiet night. He clutches at the blanket, knuckles white, heart pounding. The sterile room offers no comfort, only amplifies his terror. In the dim, inpatient room, Elena's touch is firm and warm as she gently takes Miguel's hand, offering silent support. Her eyes are filled with empathy as she guides him, her presence a beacon in his moment of distress. She encourages him to focus solely on the sound of her voice, a soothing melody amidst the chaos. With each breath, Elena helps Miguel regain control, her unwavering support a lifeline in the night. In the sterile inpatient room, Miguel's breathing softens as he looks toward Elena, a faint blush rising on his cheeks. The sterile white walls seem to magnify the quiet intimacy between them. Elena's eyes soften with empathy, a comforting presence in the stark room. "It's okay, Miguel," she says, her voice a gentle reassurance cutting through the silence. "We're all afraid sometimes." "It's human," Elena says, her words a soothing balm to his unspoken fears. In the stark inpatient room, Elena and Miguel meet, their eyes locking, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. The air crackles with unspoken emotion as their gazes intensify, the sterile room fading from their awareness. Time seems to still as their connection deepens, a profound understanding blooming in the quiet space. The world outside melts away, leaving only Elena and Miguel, bound by an invisible, powerful thread. Sunlight paints stripes across the quiet inpatient room, a silent promise of a new morning. Elena enters softly, a cup of warm tea held carefully in her hands, a beacon of gentle care. The steam curls lazily from the cup, carrying with it a silent offering of comfort and warmth. A small, gentle smile plays on Elena's lips, a subtle expression of hope and unspoken understanding. The room is filled with the quiet anticipation of a new day, hope flickering in the sunlit space. Sunlight floods the sterile room, illuminating Elena watching over Miguel, concern etched on her face. Miguel lies propped against the pillows, his pallor stark against the white linen, but eyes open. Elena's voice soft with worry. "You scared me last night." A weak chuckle escapes Miguel's lips, a shadow of his usual self. "I sometimes scare myself." The sunlight casts long shadows, amplifying the quiet tension between them. Sunlight streams into the inpatient room as Elena shares a gentle laugh, a warm invitation in her eyes. Elena offers the teacup, a silent offering of comfort and connection in the sterile space. Miguel accepts the cup, his hands trembling slightly, betraying a vulnerability beneath the surface. A shared, quiet moment hangs in the air, a fragile bond forming in the heart of the inpatient room. Soft morning light fills the inpatient room, casting a gentle glow on Elena. Miguel sits beside Elena's bed, his gaze intense and full of unspoken questions. Elena stares out the window, lost in a labyrinth of her own thoughts. Miguel leans forward, his voice soft but insistent. "Why do you care so much?" Elena remains silent, her expression unreadable, her inner world a mystery. A palpable tension hangs in the air between them, unanswered questions lingering. Sunlight floods the sterile room, casting long shadows as Elena watches over Miguel. Miguel's blank stare breaks, his eyes slowly finding Elena's, a flicker of recognition. Elena leans closer, her voice soft yet firm. "Everyone deserves someone in their corner." Her words hang in the air, a silent promise of support in the sterile environment. "Especially when they're fighting alone," Elena finishes, her gaze unwavering and full of empathy. Sunlight floods the sterile room where Elena was just present, leaving a palpable absence in the air. Miguel sits on the edge of the bed, his figure silhouetted against the bright morning light. His gaze drifts out the window, lost in a distant world only he can see. He stares, contemplating the winding paths of his life, each turn marked by memories. His face is a canvas of confusion and longing, each emotion etched deeply into his features. Elena's presence lingers in his thoughts, a poignant echo in the silence of the room. Sunlight paints the inpatient room as Miguel stares listlessly at the ceiling, lost in thought. Dust motes dance in the golden light, mirroring the chaos of his inner world. His gaze drifts across the stained wallpaper, each imperfection a reminder of his own. The sterile walls confine him, amplifying the solitude of his existence. Elena's unexpected warmth flickers, a fragile beacon in his desolate world. His voice barely a whisper. He questions, why her? Under the sterile glow of fluorescent lights, Elena meticulously gathers her belongings, each movement precise. The hum of the lights fills the quiet hallway, amplifying the unspoken emotions hanging in the air. Across the polished floor, Miguel watches Elena, his gaze a mixture of admiration and profound sadness. A palpable heaviness settles in Miguel's chest as he silently observes Elena, his heart aching. Elena's focused movements betray a hidden storm of emotions, carefully concealed beneath a calm exterior. The hallway stretches between them, a silent testament to the distance that is about to grow even wider. Soft light paints the inpatient room as Miguel looks up, weariness etched on his face. The silence thickens as he asks, his voice barely a whisper, "Are you leaving?" Elena's silhouette softens in the dim light, a gentle promise in her tone. "I'll be back in the morning," Elena replies, her words a comforting balm in the quiet room. Shadows lengthen as Elena prepares to leave, leaving Miguel in the room's gentle embrace. Soft light stretches across the inpatient room, enveloping Miguel as he rests in his hospital bed. Elena offers a gentle, encouraging smile, her presence a comforting balm in the sterile environment. Long shadows dance on the walls, amplifying the quiet intimacy between Elena and Miguel. A silent promise of support passes between them as Miguel closes his eyes, seeking solace. Elena's silhouette is framed by the soft glow as she begins to walk toward the door. The room is filled with unspoken words of hope and resilience. Miguel watches Elena disappear down the hallway, his gaze lingering on the empty space she left behind. The fluorescent lights hum, casting long shadows that stretch and deepen as Elena departs. A palpable chill descends, the room growing colder, amplifying Miguel's sense of solitude. The sterile, impersonal setting of the inpatient room now feels even more isolating. Miguel's shoulders slump slightly, his posture reflecting a profound sense of loss and emptiness. The silence amplifies, broken only by the distant, muffled sounds of the hospital. Miguel lies awake in the sterile inpatient room, the rhythmic hum of machines filling the silent night. His eyes, wide and unblinking, are fixed on the ceiling, lost in a labyrinth of thoughts and memories. The sterile room fades as the day's events replay in his mind, a cascade of moments flashing vividly. Each memory flickers like scenes from a movie, casting long shadows across his weary soul. He is trapped in a loop of introspection, the past haunting him in the cold, clinical light. The inpatient room is dimly lit, shadows stretching from the bedside lamp as Miguel lies awake, lost in thought. He recalls Elena's voice, its playful cadence echoing softly in his mind, a sweet melody in the quiet night. Miguel remembers her fleeting touch, a spark that ignited a fire within him, sending shivers down his spine. Her radiant smile, a beacon of light, shines brightly in his memories, chasing away the darkness. He wonders about the emotions stirring within, a complex blend of admiration and longing, seeking meaning in the dark. The sterile scent of disinfectant fills the small hospital room, shadows stretching in the moonlight. Miguel, gaunt and pale, stares blankly at the ceiling, lost in a maze of his own thoughts. His brow furrows with concern, hinting at the emotional turmoil beneath his fragile exterior. The rhythmic beeping of a heart monitor underscores the clinical atmosphere. In the quiet of the night, Miguel wonders, voice barely a whisper, are these feelings even real? Doubt clouds his eyes as he questions, or is it just the illness talking? Miguel sits in the dim room, light casting shadows that dance with his thoughts. A thoughtful expression deepens as he realizes something unexpected is beginning. The realization dawns that this is something deeper than he anticipated. A subtle unease settles over Miguel, hinting at the unknown depths ahead. Pale moonlight casts long shadows across the inpatient room, highlighting the sterile environment with an ethereal glow. Miguel lies awake in his bed, his eyes wide and reflecting the moonlight, lost in thought. His gaze is fixed on the ceiling, as if searching for answers in the silent expanse above him. Trouble etches lines on his face, a silent testament to the turmoil within. The room is quiet, yet the tension is palpable, a battle fought in the stillness of the night. Every shadow seems to deepen Miguel's despair, amplifying the weight of his unspoken burdens. Pale monitor light paints the room in stark shadows, revealing the deep weariness etched on Miguel's face. Elena sleeps soundly in the chair, her features softened by rest amidst the sterile environment. A heavy quiet descends, laden with unspoken anxieties about the uncertain future. Miguel watches Elena, a mix of love and apprehension swirling within him. I realize that neither I nor Elena is prepared for the emotional journey that lies ahead, Miguel whispers.